10 frogs were placed in a large container with 3 sections. Each section had equal amounts of light, shelter, food, and water. Each section was painted a different color, red, green, or blue. Daily observations were made of the frogs' location for 6 weeks.
What conclusion can be drawn from this data? A. 4 frogs out of 10 prefer the green area. Or B. The frogs randomly move to colored areas. C. Most frogs tended to avoid the red area. Or D. Most frogs preferred the color blue. The independent variable is the color of the buckets, because that's what we purposely changed, while the dependent variable is the quantity of frogs that went to each bucket because we changed the color of the shelters. Now the constants are what stayed the same throughout the entire experiments, which are light, shelter, food, and water. From our observations, we know that B is the correct answer because it matches the observations we had made during the experiment. The pie chart was also evidence of this because it showed that the frogs didn't have a preference in color because the sections were almost equal. C is the distractor in this problem because the least frogs went to red, which would make students want to choose that, but doesn't necessarily mean it's right. C is also incorrect because of the small sample size used. If there's a larger sample size, then we'd have better results.
In the last problem, the difference between the results was so small that we couldn't draw an accurate conclusion. We would have got better results from a bigger sample size. But that's not always the case. You can still get accurate information by testing only a few things if you have bigger differences between the results. Now let's look at a problem where sample size is relevant. Dr. Jonsta was frustrated because his last experiment didn't turn out so great. He was so convinced that section color affected frog location frequencies that he decided to try another experiment like it. This time, he started with 3 green frogs, 3 red frogs, and 4 blue frogs. He randomly scattered them in sections and observed what color they hopped to. All 3 red frogs hopped to the red bin. Of the 3 green frogs, 2 jumped to the green section, while 1 went to the blue section. And all 4 blue frogs hopped to the blue section. Which conclusion is best supported by this data? A. The frogs preferred sections that were like them in color because they gave them camouflage. B. The green frogs liked the blue section best. C. The red frogs avoided the red bin. We know we can rule out B and C because they're not supported by the information in our problem. B is incorrect because more green frogs were found in the green section than in the blue, and C isn't right because all 3 red frogs ended up in the red bin. This leaves only answer choice A.